Planet Vero Studios, brought to you by Evergreen Media, creating cohesive marketing campaigns. Evergreen Media in Vero Beach.
Honestly, without Treasure Coast Community Health, I think we'd be a much poorer community in terms of our health. We're always striving to fill the gap for everyone in the community, rich or poor.
And welcome to Community Conversations. My name is Vicki Soule, and I am the CEO of Treasure Coast Community Health, celebrating 15 years there this month. And as you may notice, if you have tuned into us before, I do have a little frog in my throat and a cough in my chest, but if you see me sipping on a glass of water, you'll know that little holds me down. I am so thrilled and didn't want to cancel Tony Zorbaugh today. Tony's been with us on the program, but not for a couple of years. And I think it's really important for us to recognize that Treasure Coast Community Health is not the only one that's helping fill gaps in our community. There's lots of great nonprofits out there, and it seems like blink, blink, before you know it, they've added something else to help fill the gap. And Tony's organization, The Source, is one of those. And so I'm so happy to have you here today, Tony.
Thank you for having us.
Well, you know, the reality is that it's been almost 2 years since you were on the show. And at that point in time, you were just starting out with your cooking series. You had reorganized how the place looked inside and the expectations of the people that came to you. So why don't you tell us how that went and how it maybe launched some other things you're doing?
Yeah, so since COVID, we've launched the first restaurant-style dining atmosphere for the less fortunate here in our community. So when individuals come to our facility, they have options, and individuals are waiting on them, and ticket times then go back into the kitchen, and our students are learning to make made-to-order food quickly in the kitchen. So from that, our catering company took off. We provide meals on a regular basis to Youth Guidance every night, Hope for Family Center every night.
I didn't know that.
We're catering at the hospital on a regular basis. Then from that, our food truck business has launched. We have 2 Dignity food trucks that are out in the community that our students have the opportunity to get real-time training with real customers. So that has just taken off like crazy.
Like out at JC Park.
Yeah, they're out at JC Park every day. This summer, we're at Pathway Church at one of the church groups for their summer camp for kids.
Nice.
We're really in the community every day.
And how many people participate in that program?
So we have 6 people that are in our culinary training program at any given time, and then there's 2 students and 2 former members running the trucks on 7 days a week.
Okay. And how long is that training program? You mentioned before we got in that some of your programs are short and some of them are longer.
Yeah, so all of them are 6, 12, and 18 weeks based on the need of the individual that comes in our building. Somebody who comes in who's just been experiencing homelessness for the first time, they don't need as long as somebody that's been chronically homeless for a longer period of time.
So it's more than just a skill set.
Correct.
Is what I'm hearing you say.
Yeah, so we believe at The Source, the single greatest reason for homelessness is a profound, catastrophic loss of family. So what we do is we reconnect them with community and themselves, and then eventually their family, and put that back together.
I'd say you're probably right on the money there. And so can I ask you, just because the thought also occurred to me.
Sure.
We have Camp Haven. Camp Haven actually, I believe, was an offspring prior to The Source starting these kinds of things.
Yeah.
So they too are working to insert more structure and community into that. Do you have much overlap these days?
Some. Myself and Chuck and Jeremy, we kind of collaborate on a regular basis, but The Source was the founders of Camp Haven. I'm not sure many people know that. Pre-me, they were able to purchase the old hotel, and that has morphed into helping single men coming out of addiction in our community. The issue that all of us have is that there's not enough affordable housing in our community. So The Source is really looking at moving people into permanency. We also believe that settling people is the way to go.
So talk to us a little bit more about what does that mean, settling people?
So because we're a Christian ministry, in Genesis 2:15, it says God created man and settled him in a garden so that he can cultivate and care. So we were doing everything backwards. We were getting them cultivating and caring, but we weren't settling them. So settling somebody so that they know that where they're going to be every single day and every single night, and they have a place to call home, is on our the first thing that we want to do with an individual that comes through our building is we want to try to settle them.
The cart and the horse.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that has led you then on the pathway, I'm going to say first, to your buses.
Yes.
So
Yes.
talk to us about how that started out.
Yeah. So
and what it does, because I don't think a lot of people know much about that.
Yeah. So Dignity Bus was created because many of our members who are working and going through our training program were still sleeping on park benches and still sleeping in the woods and had no place to go safely. So we were blessed to have a donor donate an amazing RV to us. We converted that into the first mobile emergency shelter in the United States. It has 20 beds, which then morphed into our second bus, which has 16 beds. And over the last 2 years, we provided 14,000 sleeps in our community.
Wow, that is phenomenal.
Yeah.
You know, if we were talking about being perhaps in Georgia or North Carolina where the heat and the bugs aren't maybe quite as oppressive, that would be one thing. But, you know, Florida in the summer, in the monsoons, I can remember.
Just everything is unpredictable here in the state of Florida. You know, it's not just, you know, torrential rain, but like you said, the heat and just having a safe place.
Yeah, the safety factors. I hear over and over again from women who know someone, another woman, who is about to be evicted, and that's their major concern. I can't go to a shelter, as if we have a whole bunch of them.
But there is none. There is no emergency shelter in our community.
Right.
We have amazing programs. Hope for Family Center is amazing. Samaritan Center, Camp Haven, amazing programs. But there's just nothing for the individual to fill that gap.
And so tell us a little bit more about the bus system. Is it only for those that are employed? Do they have to come and report to you at your location on 10th Avenue? Or how does that work if someone knows someone?
Yeah, it's first come, first serve. There's 36 beds. We do charge $2 a night for an individual who needs a bed to stay in. We believe that individuals have to contribute.
As we do.
Every single person, has to contribute to this process.
There's something about dignity in that, isn't there?
Absolutely. And then anybody that's in any of our programs is secured a bed at no charge. Okay.
And so there's leftover beds, I presume, from people outside of your programs.
Yeah, outside of our programs. Yeah, so we have about 15 to 16 beds outside of our programs for individuals in the community. And is there supervision on those buses?
There is.
Again,
looking at from a female's point of view.
There is. There's been there's 2 staff that are on each bus every single night. We haven't had any issues on our bus. We only had one issue in 2 years, and we had a 72-year-old woman pass away.
Oh.
We had our first individual who passed away on our bus.
That's sad.
It is. It was traumatic. It was traumatic, but at least she was able to die with dignity within our program. We actually had a phone call last week from a detective in Cleveland, Ohio, because one of the things that people don't realize is that when you come to the source, you get a membership ID card that has your picture and your membership number. So it looks just like a Sam's Club card, and it says you are a member of our community. So this individual,
when did you start doing that?
So we started that a couple years ago so that we can then track our data and we can get, we wanted to not be a service center. We wanted to be more of a membership where people felt like they belonged to something, right? So we got a phone call a couple weeks ago from a detective that said that they found an individual who was passed away in Ohio. They went through his belongings and he had a source ID card. And if he didn't have a source ID card, he would have just been a John Doe, and who knows if we would have been able to reconnect him to his family.
Right.
This was able to they were able to get to us. We were able to have his information on file, connect him to family. So a lot of people don't realize that even that small little membership card can help reconnect people to family.
Absolutely. And so, again, if someone knows someone, okay, this is like I have a friend who,
Yeah.
how would they go about that? They must come to see you at the source?
Yeah. So
Okay.
many individuals
Address, phone number.
Yep. Everybody comes to 1015 Commerce Avenue. They can call 772-564-0202, and our staff will be happy to help individuals with any of their needs that they need. We believe that if you have a head and we have a bed, we'll try to help you.
Oh, that's awesome. That is truly nice.
Yeah.
And I think it's taken off across the nation now.
It is. July 19th, we just signed a deal with, we were working with the state of Rhode Island to deliver a bus to a city called Woonsocket, which is in upstate Rhode Island.
Uh-huh.
So we'll be delivering, we signed paperwork last week, and we'll be delivering our third bus. And our buses are all made by our members, our homeless members who have gifts and abilities and talents to retrofit these buses. And representatives flew in from Rhode Island and saw what we were able to do and said, we need this in our community.
That's awesome. You know, people say, well,
Yeah.
there's no work available, but you are creating jobs.
We are.
And that's a real positive.
We are.
Tony, we're going to take a short break for a word from our sponsors, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about some of the other wonderful things you're doing.
Sure.
Great. Treasure Coast Community Health in-house pharmacies have the lowest prices in Indian River County, even lower than big box pharmacies. Taking your medication as prescribed leads to better health. Affordable medicine makes it easier. Treasure Coast Community Health patients can pick up medicine as they leave the office or use free delivery and mail order services. Pharmacists are always available to answer questions. Switch to TCCH pharmacies. Save money, stay healthy. 772-257-8224 and ask about our price match.
It's time to call Easy Brew Coffee and Bottled Water Service and learn just how much you can save and how convenient it is to have your coffee and bottled water delivered right to your home or office. In addition to water coolers, Easy Brew offers individual bottles of water in 8 or 16-ounce bottles. No more lugging it home or dragging it into the office. Serving the Treasure Coast for over 2 decades, 2 letters, 1 simple name. Easy for Easy Brew. Visit e-zbrew.com or call 800-792-3285. Easy Brew.
Is owning a home your goal? With the rising cost of rent, you could be saving a lot of money by owning your own home. At Caliber Home Loans, we can help make home ownership a reality. Meet with us for a free consultation and get on the right path to buy the home of your dreams. For Caliber, home loans is all we do. We use local appraisers and offer a variety of loan options to fit your lifestyle and budget. Call us today, 844-GO-CALIBER, license number CHL15622, CaliberHomeLoansTreasureCoast.com.
Sturgis Lumber and Hardware has what you need for hurricane season. Lumber and plywood, straps, ties, and bolts, plus the service to find what you need. Be ready now. Sturgis Lumber and Hardware, US 1 Vero Beach. Be hurricane ready with Sturgis Lumber and Hardware. SturgisLumber.com.
Hi guys, this is Cindy Gatz, host of Beauty and the Beach Radio. Listen to my show where you will find out all about who is beautifying Vero Beach. Tune in to Beauty and the Beach Radio, Saturdays at 8 and Sundays at 4:30 on your weekend home for Planet Vero Radio. Real Radio 1017.
And welcome back to Community Conversations. If you're just joining us, my name is Vicki Soule. I'm the CEO of Treasure Coast Community Health. Treasure Coast Community Health is celebrating its 30th year coming up of providing primary health care. Initially, we were out in Fellsmere only, taking care of migrants and seasonal farm workers because they had limited transportation. And we know as a federally qualified health center that there's lots of barriers to care, but it's our goal to remove those. And so if you or any of your family or friends are looking for excellent primary care, whether it's medical, dental, behavioral health, give us a call at 257-8224. We welcome all kinds of insurance, Medicare, Medicaid, commercial like Blue Cross, Aetna, Cigna, you name it. But we also have a sliding fee scale for those who have limited income and or a large family. So please give us a call at 257-8224 and we'll be happy to get you in. We work with a lot of great partners around the community filling gaps, and one of those is The Source, who seems to be finding lots of gaps and filling them in rapid fire. So Congratulations, Tony.
Thank you.
I want to explore a couple of different things besides the programs that you've got going on.
Yeah.
I think it's only fair to talk about how the source is funded, and how your increasing programs are helping with that long-term sustainability. So do you receive any local or state, federal funds?
Zero.
So you have a strong board of directors, I'm guessing, as well as a good donor base.
We do. We have support from all over the country, believe it or not.
That's really interesting. And yet you're not affiliated with a particular church.
Correct.
You're just a Christian belief.
Correct.
Okay. So you're a man of many words today.
We believe that our mission at the Source is to support and serve the community, but lead people to a saving faith in Jesus Christ. Right. So there's many ways to lead them to Jesus Christ, whether it's a church on the west end of town, the east end of town. We believe that we don't steal, that we believe that we heal. So whether a church does 3,000 people and we do 30, collectively together, we did 3,030 people. So that's our goal. Our goal is to be connected to everybody.
Well, and you said that earlier in the program, that your main mission is to make those folks who feel disconnected from family and the community back as a part of this community.
Correct.
To the point of even giving them membership badges. Okay, saying I'm a member of the Source.
Correct.
How much goodwill that does, not only for the community, but for the individual as well, that sense of belonging.
Yeah, our whole purpose is to move individuals out of the situation that they came in. And many people who end up becoming housed still come back to our agency because of that community feeling that they have been missing for a long time.
And I'm guessing that some of the folks that you have helped have in turn later years helped you all as well.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we were at a speaking event in Flint, Michigan, and a gentleman that was in the crowd was here in Vero Beach several years ago. And he was one of the worst individuals that I've ever seen on our streets. And he's sitting in the crowd in Flint, Michigan, and walks up to us, and he has a construction company. He's clean and sober. He's housed. He's got custody of his kids, and remembers the time that he spent with us.
What a wonderful story.
In Flint, Michigan. It's bizarre.
So part of me wants to ask you what you were doing in Flint, Michigan, but...
So we were doing another presentation for the Dignity Bus. The Dignity Bus, we just got back from Washington, D.C. We met with Senator Rubio, Rick Scott, Pelosi's office. Individuals are seeing how we're able to do this without taking federal or state money.
Well, and you're providing training and jobs.
Exactly.
So you have found a gap, and you are filling it.
Yeah, our goal is to move people out of poverty, and the only way to do that is to increase their livable wage. We all know affordable housing is a need here in our community and across the country. So our goal is to get individuals working and contributing so that they can be tax payable citizens and live in our community.
So homelessness has a lot of different causes, as you say.
Correct.
Or said earlier, often it's a disengagement from family, but there's a lot of traumatic events that can cause that to happen.
Sure.
Do you have any restrictions on who you help?
We don't.
So if someone has a substance use disorder, they're still welcome.
Absolutely. And our goal is to work with case management, work with employment specialists to identify the plan that is best for you. It's not a cookie cutter plan that everybody has to follow. So when individuals come in and they sit down and they meet with our team, they go over what's the best plan for them. And then they get to identify the things that they need to help become successful. So we now currently have mental health services. We started that a couple years ago, twice a week. It is now 7 days a week at our facility. So that has blossomed as well. So it's really just to identify the needs of the individual and to move them as quickly as we possibly can.
And in the meantime, you're making sure that they have a safe place to rest and food in their bellies.
Correct.
Two of those primary needs.
And an opportunity to get back to work.
First and foremost?
First and foremost.
Okay.
First and foremost.
And what about people with disabilities?
Great question. We have individuals who are on disability, and we have a new program that we started. It's called CCCH. So we were able to partner with a company down in Stewart that assembles motion sickness bags that go into seat pockets of private aviation. So we have many individuals who are on disability, many individuals who are panhandlers in our community. We've been able to reduce panhandling in our community by 90%. Because many of those panhandlers now don't have to sit outside and wonder how many people are going to help them. They can come in and earn a paycheck and get paid every single Friday.
Yeah, it's a bit of a haul from Pocahontas Park over to the Source on 10th. But I'm assuming you help them with education about the bus line or bikes.
Yeah, you'd be amazed how many individuals have bicycles and have the ability to get around. So it's been an amazing journey to see individuals coming out of homelessness.
Absolutely. So there's another program that you told me about as we were walking in that you've just started working with the city of Vero Beach.
Yeah, it's called Community Works. One of the things that we have at the Source, we have a member advisory council. So our member advisory council now meets once a month. It's a group of individuals who are homeless that are going through the programs and the process, and they meet with our team, and then when we have board meetings, a representative from the member advisory council reports to the board of directors. What works, what doesn't work? Do we need more housing? Do we need more this? What are the things that are helping them in that process?
You see my big smile because that's exactly what Treasure Coast Community Health has.
Yeah.
It was integral to the origins of the program.
Exactly.
So the majority of our board members actually are members that use our services, and the input is invaluable.
Exactly.
I'm very pleased to hear that.
So from that came Community Works. Community Works is a program that we go downtown. Our members go downtown to. They focused on Pocahontas Park, where the city removed the park benches. They removed the receptacles from the wall outlets, and there was an issue with vagrants being downtown.
Right.
So our job was to go downtown and be very vigilant with cleaning up the park. We have a power washing group. We have individuals that are just picking up trash. And then we have a team of people that are just talking to people that are just sitting around doing nothing and having them being involved and coming to the Source. So since we've been doing that.
Ambassadors.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Great.
As opposed to public officials, and police officers walking up to an individual saying, hey, move.
Yeah.
We want them to move, but we want them to move into something better.
And so those folks that are in the city works, they are being paid by you.
They are.
Okay, out of your operational budget.
Yep.
And what's the future for those folks?
So the future for them is employment. Many of those individuals are looking for full-time, stable employment. So 10 years ago, the city of Vero Beach laid off a third of their workforce in public works and sanitation. So many of those individuals will be looked at by those departments. Because
they now have experience.
Correct.
And they don't look like...
It's a real-life interview.
Yeah, I was going to say... I wasn't going to be very tactful. I was going to say they don't look like bums that haven't worked at all. That we form certain biases that are not necessarily true.
Correct.
And you're busting those stereotypes.
Correct.
So, congratulations. If someone want to make a donation to you, how would they do that?
www.iamthesource.org, or they could call us at 772-564-0202.
And again, volunteers or people who need care?
Absolutely.
Same phone number?
Same phone number.
All righty. Well, I almost made it through. I feel the urge to cough, so I'm going to say a quick goodbye, and we'll talk with you next week. Thank you so much for being present today, and I hope this has been very beneficial to you and our community. Good night now.